Listen to me, right now. I want you to look at your hands. Go ahead, look at them. Those hands are attached to arms. Those arms are attached to a body. And that body, your body, is the most magnificent machine ever put on this earth. More powerful than any computer, more complex than any engine, more resilient than any material science has ever invented. And you know what most people do with this miracle? They waste it. They sit on the couch, they eat garbage, they say, I'm too tired, or I'm too old, or I'll start Monday. Monday! Let me tell you something. Monday never comes for people who think like that. I'm going to tell you something this morning that might just change your life. Not because I read it in a book, not because some professor handed me a paper, but because I've lived it. 90 minutes of strength training this morning, every single morning, before the sun comes up, before most people have even opened their eyes, I am in that gym. I am working. And you know how old I am? 70 years old. 70. People hear that and they go slack-jawed. They say, Jack, how? And I say, how not? Because your body doesn't know your age. It only knows what you demand of it. Now let me take you back, way back, because you need to understand where I came from to understand why I stand here today and talk to you with this fire in my chest. When I was 15 years old, I was dying. I am not being dramatic. I was genuinely, physically falling apart. I was weak. I was sick. I had acne all over my face. I was so thin and frail that girls in my neighborhood used to beat me up. Can you imagine that? A boy getting beaten up by girls? I was a sugar addict, candy, junk food, anything sweet. My body was a wreck, and my mind was even worse. I was depressed. I had no confidence. I had no direction. I thought life was supposed to feel that bad. Then one day, my mother dragged me to a health lecture by a man named Paul Bragg. And I sat in that audience, this scrawny, miserable, acne-covered kid, and I listened to this man talk about what the human body could do, what it was designed to do. He said something that hit me like a bolt of lightning. He said, it is never too late to start, and it is always too soon to quit. I walked out of that lecture a different person. Not because my body changed overnight, it didn't, but because my mind changed. I made a decision, a real decision, the kind of decision that lives in your gut, not your head. I decided I would build myself from the ground up. Do you know what that decision cost me? Nothing. And do you know what it gave me? Everything. Within a year, I had put on muscle. Within 2 years, I was stronger than boys twice my size. Within 5 years, I was setting records. And here I am at 70, doing things that men half my age can't do. Now, I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that because I need you to understand something. If a sick, weak, sugar-addicted 15-year-old kid could transform himself into this, then what is your excuse? What excuse could you possibly have that is bigger than where I started? Here's what most people don't understand about the gym. They think it's vanity. They think it's for young people who want to look good on the beach. They think it's about big muscles and tight clothes. And sure, those things happen, but that is not what the gym is really about. The gym is a laboratory for building character. Every rep you push when your arms are screaming at you, that's mental training. Every morning you drag yourself out of bed when every cell in your body says, stay warm, stay comfortable. That's mental training. The gym doesn't just build muscle, it builds will. It builds the part of you that refuses to quit. And let me tell you something, that part of you, that carries over into everything. I have seen it 1,000 times. I have watched timid people walk into a gym shaking like leaves, and I have watched those same people, 6 months later, stand tall. Not just because their bodies changed, though they did, but because they proved something to themselves. They proved they could do hard things. And once you know you can do hard things in the gym, you start believing you can do hard things everywhere else. In your job, in your relationships, in your life. The gym teaches you that growth lives on the other side of discomfort, and that is a lesson worth more than any college degree. Now, let me explain something to you simply, because I believe in giving people the truth without wrapping it in confusing language. Your body is an engine, a beautiful, complex, self-repairing engine. And like any engine, it needs fuel, and it needs USE. You know what happens to an engine you never run? It seizes up, rusts, falls apart. That is literally what happens to a human body that sits still. Your muscles shrink, they call it atrophy. Your bones get thinner, your heart gets weaker. Your brain, yes, your brain actually starts to slow down. Science has proven this. Exercise isn't optional maintenance for your body. It is the minimum requirement for the machine to keep working properly. And here's the flip side. When you use that engine, when you lift and push and pull and sweat, your body responds in ways that are nothing short of miraculous. Your muscles get stronger, yes, but your metabolism speeds up. Your heart pumps more efficiently. Your lungs expand their capacity. Your bones get denser. And here is the part that amazes even me. After 60 years, your brain releases chemicals called endorphins, natural chemicals, no prescription needed, no pharmacy visit, just exercise. And those endorphins make you feel alive. They reduce anxiety. They fight depression. They sharpen your focus. The gym is the best mental health clinic that ever existed, and the membership is the cheapest medicine you will ever buy. You know what else? Let me talk about your heart for a moment, because people forget about the heart. They want the biceps, they want the flat stomach. They forget about the most important muscle in their entire body, the one that has been beating for you every second of every day of your life without asking for a single thank you. Your heart is a muscle. And like every other muscle, it gets stronger when you exercise it. Cardiovascular training, whether it's swimming like I do every morning, or walking, or cycling, it makes your heart pump more blood with less effort. That means lower blood pressure. That means less risk of heart attack. That means a longer, more energetic life. You want to talk about a return on investment? Nothing on Wall Street touches that. Now, I want to destroy some excuses, because I know they're sitting in the back of your mind. I can see them on your faces. I've been watching people my whole life, and I know exactly what you're thinking. The first one, and I hear this all the time, Jack, I'm too old to start now. Baloney, pure absolute baloney. Do you think your body sends you a letter on your 40th birthday that says, sorry, we're closed? It does not. I have trained men and women in their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, who have completely transformed their bodies and their health. Your body responds to training at any age. Research proves it. My life proves it. The only thing that makes you too old is deciding you are. And here's what kills me about the too old excuse. The people who say it are usually the ones who need exercise the most. Because the older you get, the more critical it is to maintain your muscle mass, your bone density, your cardiovascular health. Aging is not an excuse to stop. Aging is the reason to start. If you're 50 and you haven't been training, great. You've got 30 or 40 good years ahead of you. What do you want those years to look like? Do you want to be dependent on medications and other people, or do you want to be vital? The choice is yours, and you make it right now, today, with what you decide to do. The second excuse, I don't have time. Now, this one really gets me going. I want you to think about something. I am a busy man. I have run businesses. I have made television programs. I have traveled and spoken and trained. And for 60 years, I have never once missed my morning workout. Not once. You know why? Because I make it non-negotiable. It is not something I fit in if I have time. It is the time. It is the foundation of my day. I wake up at 4 in the morning. 4! And I put in 90 minutes of strength work and 30 minutes of swimming before most people have even hit their snooze alarm for the second time. If I can do that at 70, what is stopping you from doing 30 minutes? You have time. Everyone has time. The question is what you are choosing to do with it. You have time for television. You have time for scrolling through the newspaper. You have time for an extra hour of sleep. None of those things are building your body. None of those things are strengthening your mind. None of those things are adding years to your life. A 30-minute workout is not a sacrifice. It is the best investment you can make in the only asset that truly matters, your health. Because without your health, nothing else works. Not your job, not your family, not your happiness, nothing. Third excuse, I'm too tired. You want to know something? Exercise gives you energy. That sounds backwards, doesn't it? You put energy out and you get more back. But that is exactly how the human body works. When you train consistently, your mitochondria, the little powerhouses inside every cell, they multiply. You literally produce more energy at the cellular level. Chronically tired people are often tired precisely because they don't exercise. The couch doesn't rest you. The couch drains you. Motion creates energy. Stillness kills it. Get in the gym feeling tired, and 9 times out of 10, you will walk out feeling more awake than you have all day. Try it. Just try it once. And then there's the one that really breaks my heart. I can't afford a gym. Friend, you don't need a gym. I started with nothing. A bar across a door frame. A pair of used weights I found in someone's garage. The floor. The floor is free. Push-ups are free. Squats are free. Lunges are free. A walk around the block is free. A park bench for step-ups is free. Your body weight is the greatest training tool ever invented, and it has been with you since the day you were born. So that excuse? Gone. Finished. We are done with that one. Now let me tell you about something I believe with every fiber of my being. Exercise is king and nutrition is queen. Together they make an empire. But separately, either one alone and you are leaving tremendous amounts of potential on the table. I see people who train hard but eat garbage, and they wonder why their results stall. And I see people who eat beautifully but never move, and they wonder why their energy is low and their body keeps softening. You need both. They are partners. They work together like a team, and you cannot fire half the team and expect championship results. My nutrition is simple. I have eaten this way for decades. 2 meals a day, both of them real food, vegetables, protein, healthy fats. I eat 10 different raw vegetables every single day. 10. I juice. I have been juicing since before most people knew what a juicer was. I cut out sugar 60 years ago and I have never looked back. Now, I am not saying you have to eat exactly like me. You need to find what works for your body, your lifestyle, your culture. But the principles are universal. Cut the processed food, cut the sugar, eat more plants, eat more protein, drink more water. Feed the machine like it deserves to be fed, and it will perform like you cannot imagine. Here's something personal I want to share with you. I have trained some incredible people over the years. Let me tell you about 3 of them, because their stories are your stories. They are proof that transformation is possible for anyone. There was a woman, I'll call her Margaret, who came to me at 62 years old. She had just retired, her kids were grown, and she told me she felt like she had no purpose and no energy. She was soft, she was tired, she was starting to have real problems with her blood pressure. She said, "Jack, I've never exercised a day in my life. Is it too late?" I looked her right in the eye and I said, "Margaret, it is never too late and it is always too soon to quit." We started her simple, 15 minutes of walking a day, some chair exercises, some basic stretching. 3 months later, she was walking 30 minutes. 6 months later, she was lifting weights. A year, her doctor had taken her off blood pressure medication completely. She told me it was the first time in 5 years she had woken up without feeling exhausted. That is the power of starting. And then there was a young man, a professional, an executive, 38 years old, who came to me stressed out of his mind. He was working 80 hours a week. He said exercise was a luxury he couldn't afford mentally or physically. He was anxious. He wasn't sleeping. He was snapping at his family. I told him to give me 1 month. Just 30 minutes a day of consistent exercise. Nothing crazy. Lifting, walking, basic movement. You know what he told me after a month? He said his focus at work had improved so dramatically that he was getting more done in fewer hours. He was sleeping through the night. He was calmer. He was present with his family. He said, "Jack, why didn't anyone tell me this was the answer?" And I said, "I've been telling people for 50 years. Were you listening?" And then there was an older gentleman, 75, who everyone, including his own doctor, had written off. Arthritis in both knees, a history of heart issues. His family thought he should just rest. I said, "Rest is rust." We found what he could do safely. Swimming, light resistance bands, gentle movement every single day. The consistency was the key. Within 8 months, his mobility had improved so much that he could walk his granddaughter down the street to the park, something he hadn't been able to do in 3 years. He cried. I'm not too proud to tell you I cried a little too, because that is what this is about. That is why I wake up at 4 in the morning. That is what the gym gives you. It gives you your life back. Now I want to talk about obstacles, because the road is never perfectly smooth, and I would be lying to you if I pretended otherwise. You're going to have days when you don't feel like it. You're going to have days when you're tired, or stressed, or something hurts, or life just gets in the way. What do you do on those days? You do something. You do less, if you need to. You modify. You scale back, but you do not stop, because the habit is more important than any single workout. Miss one day, fine. Miss a week, you're on a slope. Miss a month, you've lost momentum, and starting again is twice as hard. Consistency over perfection. Always. And if you get injured, and at some point many of you will, that is not a reason to quit. That is a reason to get creative. If your knee hurts, you train your upper body. If your shoulder hurts, you swim, or you walk, or you cycle. There is almost always something you can do, and doing something keeps your mind in the game and your body moving forward. I have trained through injuries. I have trained through pain. Not recklessly, you listen to your body, you work with your doctor, you don't push through acute injury, but you find a way. Champions find a way. Here's what I want you to imagine right now. I want you to picture 2 versions of your future self. 10 years from now. Picture one of you who started today, who made the decision, who put in the work, consistently, year after year. That person wakes up with energy. That person moves through the day with clarity and strength. That person looks in the mirror and sees someone vital, capable, alive. That person plays with their grandchildren without getting winded. That person handles stress at work because they've been training their mind as hard as their body. That person is independent. That person has power. Now picture the other version, the one who kept saying Monday, the one who let the excuses win. That person is stiff in the morning. That person's energy fades by noon. That person depends on medication to manage conditions that movement could have prevented or reversed. That person watches life from the sidelines. That person is trapped in a body that feels like a cage. Which version do you choose? Because you are choosing. Right now, in this moment, you are making a choice about which of those two futures you are building toward. Every single day is a vote. And today is your chance to vote for the right one. So let me give you something practical, something you can use starting today, not next week, today. Here is how you begin. This week, just this week, you are going to commit to 30 minutes of movement every single day. I don't care what it is, walking is perfect. If you haven't exercised in years, walking is the best thing you can do. Go outside and walk for 30 minutes. Do it in the morning if you can, because morning exercise sets your mind and your body up for the entire day. If morning doesn't work, do it at lunch. Do it in the evening. Just do it. Every day for 7 days. In your second week, you are going to add some resistance. You don't need a gym. On the floor of your living room, you are going to do push-ups on your knees. If full push-ups are too much, that is completely fine. There is no shame in starting where you are. You are going to do squats, stand up, and sit down from a chair 10 times if that's your level. You are going to do something for your core. A plank held for 10 seconds is a start. Do 3 sets of each, 3 times in that second week. And you are going to keep walking. By week 3, something is going to happen that you need to be ready for. You are going to feel better than you expected. Not perfect, your muscles will be a little sore, which means they are growing, but you are going to have more energy. You are going to sleep better. You are going to start looking forward to your workouts because your brain is going to associate them with feeling good. That is the turning point. That is where the habit starts to take root. In week 3, you increase your reps slightly. You add 5 more minutes to your walk. You push yourself just a little bit past where you were comfortable the week before. That extra push, that is where growth lives. Week 4, you are going to take stock. Look at what you can do that you couldn't do 30 days ago, because I promise you, something has changed. Maybe you can do 5 more push-ups. Maybe you walked up a flight of stairs without getting winded. Maybe you just feel like yourself again in a way you hadn't in years. Write it down, celebrate it, and then set a goal for the next 30 days that is bigger than the last 30. That is how transformation compounds. That is how a choice made today becomes a life completely changed a year from now. And about nutrition starting today, I want you to do one simple thing. Drink more water. Before you change your diet, before you overhaul anything, just drink water. Half your body weight in ounces every single day. If you weigh 160 pounds, that's 80 ounces of water. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated, and they don't even know it, and dehydration causes fatigue, brain fog, poor performance, cravings for junk food. Fix the water first. Then, this week, add 1 serving of vegetables to 1 meal you weren't having them in before. 1 serving. That's it. Small steps compound into enormous changes. Now listen to me. I want to bring this home, because we're getting close to the end, and I don't want you to walk out of here without understanding something that I have known in my bones for 60 years. This is not about looking good. This is not about impressing anyone. This is not about fitting into a certain size of clothing, though all of those things may happen. This is about respect. Respect for the body you were given. Respect for the life you've been handed. Respect for the people who love you and need you to be here and healthy and present for as long as possible. When you take care of your body, you are making a statement. You are saying, my life matters. My health matters. My future matters. You are saying, I am not going to hand my well-being over to chance or habit or laziness. You are claiming ownership of the one thing in this world that is truly yours. The only home you will ever live in is your body. Every other house, every car, every piece of property, you can sell it, you can walk away from it, you can replace it, but your body, you've got one. One body, one lifetime. And what you do with it is the most important decision you will ever make, repeated every single day. I have been saying this for half a century. I said it when nobody wanted to hear it. I said it when fitness was considered eccentric and strange. I said it before the research caught up to what my body was telling me was true. And now the science is there, hundreds of studies, thousands of papers, all confirming what I knew from experience. Exercise transforms the brain. Exercise extends life. Exercise prevents disease. Exercise builds confidence and resilience and mental strength. It is the single most powerful thing a human being can do for their total well-being. And it is available to every single one of you, starting the moment you walk out those doors. So here is my challenge to you, my dare. I dare you to give me 30 days, 30 days of consistent movement, 30 days of treating your body like the magnificent machine it is, 30 days of proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. 30 days, that's all. 4 weeks and 2 days. And at the end of those 30 days, if you don't feel better, if your energy hasn't improved, if your mind isn't sharper, you come find me. But I promise you, you won't need to. Because I have seen this happen 1,000 times, and the human body's response to consistent exercise is not a mystery. It is a guarantee. Your best years are not behind you. They are ahead of you, but only if you claim them. Only if you stand up right now and decide that you are worth the effort, that your health is worth 30 minutes of your day, that your future self deserves the gift you can give them today. I made that decision at 15 years old, a skinny, sick kid who had every reason to give up. And that decision has given me 70 years of living, not just existing, 70 years of strength and energy and passion and purpose. 70 years of waking up at 4 in the morning, not because I have to, but because I cannot wait to see what this body can do. That's what I want for you. That fire, that hunger, that joy in the work. Get up, get moving, get in that gym, or in that park, or on that floor. Feed yourself like you love yourself. Push yourself like you believe in yourself. And when it gets hard, and it will get hard, remember that every hard thing you push through is building something inside you that nothing in this world can take away. Now get out there. Your body is waiting. Your future is waiting. What are you going to do about it? The answer better be everything. Starting today. Starting now.